Good afternoon, my name is Tumbleson. I'm giving my speech on my worst day ever. So, for context, this happened 2 years ago, and it ended with me being so cold, wet, and miserable, so sleep deprived that I couldn't even fall asleep. So this happened 2 years ago, almost to this week, in early November of 2021. So I was in United States Marine Corps School of Infantry. So this was a 4-month long course to become a infantry rifleman. So this was right after I graduated boot camp. So this took place during the last week of the course. So it was called the Capstone, which was our Hell Week. So it was a 6-day long event, and it went from Sunday through Friday. So it started off with us having 100-pound rucksacks. So 100 pounds plus our weapon systems, which were, for me, it was a machine gun, which was 30 pounds, plus my rifle, which was another 10 pounds, plus full rounds of ammunition. So I was carrying over 140 pounds. So the first event of the week was, or the day, was a 1,000-meter swim, and that was in full uniform, pack, and armor. So it wasn't a fun swim. We get out of the pool, and nightfall starts to hit. So we start making movement to our first checkpoint while in our wet uniforms, and it was pretty bad chafing. My assistant gunner, who was carrying my tripod for my gun, starts to fall out, and I pick up his tripod, start carrying his weight. So I had to add additional 20 to 30 pounds onto my already course load. As we get to the first checkpoint, nightfall's already hit, so it's pretty cold, and we're still in our wet clothes, so we're getting close to hypothermia. We change over into our dry clothes, which for some people weren't dry because they didn't pack right, so while in the pool their stuff got wet, and we're already pretty miserable. Did not want to go on with the week, and then we got told our first checkpoint from there was going to be 8 kilometers as the bird flies. So that meant it was going to be at least 12 kilometers away, not including elevation. So we get to the first, or we're walking, pretty miserable because our clothes are dry, but our packs are still wet. So it's just rubbing on you. You're even more wet, and we're all pretty cold. We haven't eaten. Get to the first checkpoint from there, and it starts pouring, and we have to move to the top of the hill. So we started going up the hill, which was a dirt road, and it was a pretty steep elevation, and every step you would take, you would slide back because of the mud. And by the time I got to the top of the hill, I was completely defeated. My morale was like gone, and I'm just like carrying the machine gun like this, and then I get to the top of the hill, and that's where we hold security, waiting for an attack. I sit behind my machine gun for over 24 hours, and I didn't move an inch. I was just laying there as it was pouring rain, just behind my gun with the tarp over me, and I was just in a puddle. Every ounce of like dryness I had is gone. Like, I'm soaked to the bone, so cold and wet that I couldn't fall asleep, and that's how I had my worst day ever.